In 42 years of photography, one thing I have learned is don't take the picture just yet. Beginners think about pressing the button right now. Let's do it right now. But slow it down a little bit. Let's go a little bit slower. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just not take the picture yet. Timing does matter, and you'll learn that through experience over time. Experience teaches you something a little bit different. A great photographer just doesn't know when to shoot. A great photographer knows when not to shoot also, because something is just not right. Is the light just not right? Is the background ruining this shot? Sometimes the pose is almost there, but not quite yet. Sometimes the photo you're about to take isn't even good yet. So follow me on this. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. A better lens won't fix bad lighting. A more expensive camera won't fix a terrible background. And I know I've covered some of this since the beginning of February. You guys that have been with me every day, I appreciate it, but we have so many people new. Over 90% of every one of our videos are new people watching for the first time, so bear with me until we get through this series that I'm working with. I see photographers do this all the time. They see a subject, they raise the camera, and they start firing. You can hear it click, 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 but they never stop to ask the most important question. Should I even take the photo from here? Am I in the right spot to even be taking this picture? That one question can change the entire photo. Before I take the shot, I'm looking at the light, the hands, the bokeh, the subject's face, the body position, and around the edges of the frame. All that is important before you push that shutter. Because if you just push the shutter, it's just recording a mistake. And you don't want that. So let's wait for the face. The expression on the face tells us everything. You can have beautiful light, beautiful background, everything, but if the face isn't in there, then you have issues. I wait for the person. There is a difference. Pose can look technically correct, but still be empty. You want the expression, because sometimes the client is nervous. Sometimes they're smiling, but they're just not smiling with their eyes. And you want that smile that starts in the heart, that comes through the eyes, because as I said over and over, the eyes are everything in a photograph. But if she's standing there with her new husband grabbing his arm, she's got that love in her heart. It's going to show through her eyes, and you're going to bring out the eyes with the flash or reflector or whatever you have to do the eyes with. Sometimes she's just thinking too much, but that doesn't mean to shoot yet. Do not shoot the picture just yet until you get everything lined up. You can talk, you can slow down, let them breathe, say something funny, give them a second. Then when the real expression comes through, that's when you will take the photograph. Don't just start firing boom, boom, boom as you see that bride. Wait for the right time, wait for that expression to show up through her heart, through her eyes, and then you've got what you want. Not close, but right. After 42 years, and probably most of you now can tell you, the best shot that you get is not ever the first one that you take. It's the frame after they relax. Is when you get your best shot. One of the easiest ways to improve your pictures, your photography, is to just move. Move a little bit. Don't stand there and blame the location. 3 feet to the left can change the entire perspective. Move left, move right, move up, move down, wherever you need to move to get the best background for the expression that we're looking for. Because sometimes a good photo is just 3 feet over here to the left, not where you're standing. A beginner sees bad background, nothing I can do. An experienced photographer thinks, where can I move to make this look better? That's the difference between an amateur and a pro. Being able to do all this under stress, entire wedding. Now, this will apply to all types of photography. You guys know I refer to weddings a lot because that's what I shot mostly for over 42 years. But it will work for any type of event photography that you've got. One thing you can do is start seeing the picture before you take it. If the bride says, oh, I want to shoot by this fountain or whatever, look at that fountain and start getting in your head, where's the best place to position her around? Where's the light, that fountain? Where am I going to set her? Am I going to use a reflector, a flash, whatever I've got? Is my assistant got it ready? Is, that kind of stuff your assistant should be looking to, and she should have a good eye so that she can get you in the right spot. If not, change the position. But a good, experienced second photographer or assistant is priceless, because they can do a lot of that for you while you're controlling everything else. Because if you sit her down in that one spot where she was talking about, there's going to be a tree coming out of the back of her head. The hands can look awkward. The face could be turned the wrong direction. Just maybe a little turn of the face will fix it. It's these small details that make huge differences. The background is brighter than the subject. You need to get that under control, even if you use an ND filter. You don't want anything taken away from your subject. That needs to be the point of the picture. If I show you the picture, the first thing you see is going to be that super bright light behind her, and you don't want that to be the first thing you see. You want the first thing you want them to see is their face, the expression. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for a bright light or a pretty fountain. They're looking at the bride or the groom. How do they look? They're looking at, does the pose make them uncomfortable? You might need to change that a little bit, because what you see in your head may not be easy for the bride to do if she's wearing a dress that's got a big train on it. You know, you have to think about that. So don't just say, oh, sit over there and do this, because she's wearing a big old train 9 foot long and you're just standing there in dress pants. So there's a difference between her sitting down and you sitting down. Look for anything in the picture that will distract you from the subject. Move it, move yourself. One of them, just fix it. Don't just start shooting. Fix that problem before you take the picture. Honestly, what separates a snapshot and a professional picture is just that. A snapshot reacts, but a photograph is built. You want to build your shot. It doesn't mean every picture has to be slow and perfect, but it does mean you're responsible for what's inside that frame, because that's what they're going to be looking at when they see their pictures. They only see what you gave them. They can't see anything else. What are you giving them? That's what they see. Now, if you give them bad background, bad lighting, uncomfortable pose, they're not going to say, well, the photographer meant well. He's probably a good guy. He probably meant well. No, that's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, we paid this guy a fortune. Why do these pictures look like garbage? That's what they're going to say. You are responsible for this. Get your experience. Like I've always said, work at least a year with a photographer for free if you have to get this experience before you go out on your own, and then have an assistant go with you. It's very, very important. That's one reason I always say slow down before you speed up. Because if you're rushing through everything, you're going to miss something. You're going to miss something in the background. You're going to miss those trees out of the head, the limbs out of the head. You're going to miss something by speeding up. I'd rather shoot one good picture than 10 bad pictures, or just not good pictures. So look at the picture and say, what is hurting this photo? Is it the light? Is it the background? Is it the pose? Is it the expression? Is it my angle I'm shooting from? 1 second of awareness can save you 20 minutes of editing time. No kidding around, or even longer if it's bad. And that's usually a problem learned the wrong way, the hard way. So I'm just trying to save you a little bit of heartache there. I've been through it, so that's why I'm going to share it with you guys. The best shot is usually just one thing away. Most bad photos are not completely bad. There will be some good stuff in there. But like I said, there's just one adjustment away from being really good. And that's what the difference is. That's what we're looking for. Move the subject maybe over to the right 2 feet. Turn their face back toward the light. Lower the camera, raise the chin a little. Drop the shoulder, clean up the background. Wait for the smile to become real, like we were talking about earlier. Relax. Say something funny. Get her relaxed. Think about, hey, you're getting married. Before you leave, isn't this you're 45 minutes away from being Miss So-and-so? You know, just that kind of stuff. Joking around will set them at ease, because they're in a stressful situation. And I know you're in a stressful situation because you're shooting these pictures. But it's your job to stay calm and make her wedding fun. That's why you're getting paid the dollars to do it. That's why they didn't hire somebody just off the street to do it. They hired a professional to do it. And that's what's going to separate you from the rest. Some photographers look at the scene and say, there's nothing here. But an experienced photographer knows how to squeeze a good image out of a bad situation. Not by magic. This is not a magic box, okay? This is a tool that we use. It's not a magic box, okay? Understand your tool. You're not always looking for the perfect location. You're looking for the best angle inside the situation that you were given. Once you get that through your head, it'll help a little bit. It'll help you relax and understand. You don't always get the perfect sunset, the perfect venue, the perfect beach shot. You don't always get that. Anybody can take a decent picture when just everything is perfect. But you're a professional. This is where you set yourself apart when things aren't perfect. What are you going to do then? That's what sets you apart. This is a big one. Do not reward almost. Okay, I'll say it again. Do not reward almost. Almost good light, almost good pose, almost a good background, and almost good expression. Well, almost got it. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're a professional now. We don't do almost anymore. Again, almost is where the amateur is. They're almost there. I'm not cutting on you guys that do this part-time or amateur. It's a process, you understand. If you've been an amateur long enough, you understand where to see where the top of the mountain is. It's a process. You can't just do it overnight. We're not going to accept it was almost. Almost is where average photos live, and you don't want them to live anywhere near your name. And I've taken plenty of pictures in my career where the hands were awkward, the chin was too high, the dress was twisted, his shirt was wrinkled, we missed the button, the bow tie's crooked. The list continues. Watch the details, because the camera sees everything. It'll see what you miss. And don't say, I'll fix it later in Photoshop. Let's get it right in the camera and save ourselves a ton of time and make their pictures look better. And never, ever say they probably won't notice, because you know what? They're going to notice. They will be calling you within 5 minutes is how quick they're going to notice. Believe me. Having patience makes you look more professional. And here's something funny. When you slow down, people think you don't know what you're doing. When you panic or overshoot, people feel the same way. You get what I'm saying? It's a lose-lose situation, kind of. A professional photographer does not have to come in and machine gun all his photos to get a good one. A professional photographer can stop and say, hold on, let me fix this. Or turn slightly this way. Let me move this out of the background. Wait right here for a second. The light is about to get better. We're going to set up our reflectors. That does not make you look unsure. Or what? It doesn't make you look like you don't know what you're doing. In fact, it does the opposite. It makes him think, oh, wow, that's cool. He noticed that. He's really good at what he's doing. I got confidence in this guy. I can tell right now about what everybody told me about Daniel. He was good. And I can tell right now about what he's doing. He's not just firing away, depending on me. He's actually setting up these pictures of me. And I'm feeling good about the situation. I can tell he's got it under control. You're breezing on from there. Sometimes, even if everything is going perfect, it's still, I will stop and say, let me fix this. Just so they can tell you're on top of things. Not speeding everything up, but just in a professional way. That way they say, oh, good, he sees the details in this. He's paying attention. Clients do not mind if you take a few extra seconds to get a better photo. I can promise you that. What they remember is not how fast you shot. What they remember is how good they looked. And here in closing, photography is just not knowing when to press the button. It's knowing when not to. Wait for the light. Wait for that expression. Those expressions are everything different. So night and day comes down to those expressions. Move away from the background if you have to. Backgrounds are huge. That's what I'm saying. The camera records everything. If that background's not lining up, it's going to draw people's attention, and you don't want anything drawing attention away from your bride and groom if you're photographing a wedding. So with that said, never, ever settle for almost. You almost did a good job on that wedding, and they're going to say, well, we're almost going to pay you. See how that works? We're almost going to sue you for doing such a bad job. So like I said, don't reward almost, because the picture you don't take yet might be the reason one is great. And that's something experience will teach you the hard way. So guys, again, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. If we're helping you out, hit that like button and hit subscribe. We're trying to get our channel to grow. We want beginners on here. If you just got a camera yesterday, we want this to be your home for photography. If you shot for over 40 years like I have, we still want this to be your home for photography. I want as much help on this site, because when people leave questions, there's more than just me to help you out. I'll be there, but so will others. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.